At the Nashville Roadshow in 2022, decorative arts expert Jason Preston was dazzled by the design of an Art Deco tea and coffee service the guest had bought from his neighbor decades ago. What happened next took everyone to new heights.
I recall that day very vividly. We'd seen a lot of stuff at the Decorative Arts and Silver table, but I hadn't seen anything truly special yet. Sometimes you can kind of see something approaching in the line, but I didn't see this till it was just set in front of me.
This is a silver plate set that I purchased in San Francisco. An elderly neighbor of ours decided to move into a retirement home, so she called my husband and I and said she was selling her wares. My husband went. He asked her how much she wanted, and she said $25.
In what year?
It's 1985, 86.
This is an Art Deco tea and coffee service. We have a coffee pot, teapot, covered double-handled sugar bowl, and a cream pitcher on a matching tray. This is an iconic example of Jazz Age design, influenced by the architecture, music, and culture of the time. This is called the Skyscraper tea and coffee service. It's by a company called Bernard Rice's Sons, and it was designed specifically by Louis Rice. The term skyscraper comes from the architectural shape of the objects. Louis Rice designed this, and it debuted in 1928. That's why this object is so important in the canon of 20th century design, because it almost presaged the most famous Art Deco skyscrapers that we think of, the Chrysler Building and the Empire State Building. If this were to go to auction, I believe they would put a conservative auction estimate of $15,000 to $25,000 on it.
Wow. Wow. It's amazing. Thank you. Wow. I can't wait to tell everybody. So, makes me a bit, anyway, choked up. After it aired, the comments were, "You look like you're about to cry." And I said, I was about to cry.
Since we filmed the appraisal segment, Dan and his husband made the decision to part with the tea set.
So it was a big emotional decision because we loved the set. It was a gift to me, but in reality, it was time to part with it.
They contacted me, and I had a good idea of a good place for them to go with this. A specialist in 20th century design that I'd worked with at another auction house. I referred Dan to my colleague, and it went into a specialty auction of 20th century design in March of 2023.
We could not go, but we did watch it online.
This is an incredibly rare piece. It has almost never comes up with so many pieces intact, and the condition is absolutely marvelous. We will start here at $10,000 for this one, at $10,000 for the set, at $25,000, $28,000 in a new spot, at $28,000, $30,000.
When it surpassed what Jason told us, I was sitting, Tom was standing next to me, and I looked at him and said, "You better sit down."
$54,000 going twice, and selling for $54,000.
We went, holy crap. What just happened here?
It hammered around $54,000, so with the auction house's buyer's premium, that makes the total price paid by the buyer $68,415. The seller gets the hammer price less the seller's commission that's retained by the auction house. So Dan and Tom would have received less than the hammer price, but not a great deal less.
When we sent it to auction, we were hoping that a museum or some sort of art institute would purchase it. It turned out to be the De Young Museum in San Francisco. For it to be there, to me, is very special because we lived there for many years and had very, very close emotional attachment to San Francisco.
It's so special to know that it's put on public display for everyone who comes to the museum to see it and learn about this really iconic piece of 20th century design.